Hi, I'm Dan Clark. I was a Jehovah's Witness for 40 years and I've been out 17. And I'm finishing up my series here. And I want to talk about a personal experience that happened with me, and it had to do with my father. My father, for years while we were in school, said that by 75 it would be all over. That would mean I wouldn't drive. I didn't plan on driving. I basically flunked out in school. There was no reason to study. I got straight Fs. I chose to get straight Fs because there was no reason in my head, if it was going to end by 75, there was no reason to study. There's no reason to go to college. There's no reason for further education and so on. The other thing was my dad never really took care of his health. And the reason he didn't was because Jehovah was going to fix it any day. His flesh was going to return to the vigor of his youth. My mother's nerve problems were going to be fixed any day. Because the earth was going to be returned to a paradise. So everybody was waiting. Their health suffered. My dad's job, he never thought he was going to retire. So we were a product of our family. We were like beggars. You know, my dad, every couple of years, my grandmother, who wasn't a Jehovah's Witness, would give him a car that was a couple of years old every couple of years, or we wouldn't have a car. We would be driving this old junker or whatever. But the point being, here's what the point I want to make. When those prophecies passed, when that 75 prophecy passed, my dad was emotionally devastated. He was crushed. And here's the problem. There was nobody apologizing. There was nobody explaining to him what happened. That was just it. Just believe the next idea. The next idea was the generation prophecy, that the world was going to end in this generation. This generation will by no means pass away till all these things occur. Nation rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, food shortages. And in that generation was going to be the Great Tribulation. So that was the one I was in, by the way. My dad was in the 75. But the point I want to make is when a prophecy passes, when it moves past this idea that you had that you were so hoping for, it's devastating. And don't expect an apology from the Jehovah's Witness. Expect them to have a big smile on their face and pat you on the back and say, hang in there, we got a new prophecy. Anyway, it was devastating for me to watch my dad. It was devastating what we had to go through, living in less than normal conditions. It was terrible. I sacrificed my life too because of my dad's decision to wait for the world to end or expecting it to end in 75. Anyway, that's the end of that video. Thanks for watching and look forward to seeing you on the next one.